And we're live. Okay, look, we're back. I'm gonna try and put together page 9, which has been the bane of my existence so far. This is how I like to set my pages up. I like to get the drawing guide up, change the grid size to 1/2 inches. Done. And then done. And then I use technical pen. I like a nice 1-inch grid. I mean a 1-inch margin into the bleed. And as you saw on the last page I took the bleed off on the bottom. And I've had other pages that I did where you know, we drop the bleed entirely. But I'm actually not one of those people who wants to eliminate the grid or eliminate the margin or always draw into the bleed. I know that's kind of the... People just love to fucking do that. I don't know what it is. I like a bit of tradition. Alright, here we go. Then once you've got it, try and stretch it out, and I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. Turn the grid back off. Make a new layer. That's layer 2. Alright, layer 1's going to be pencils. And the way I do pencils is I just do a regular layer, but I do it like at a... I'm changing the... I don't know if you can see that. I'm changing my opacity down to about 50 or 40%. I put it right there in the middle somewhere. So that my black ink is... Can you even see that? I don't know if you can see it. It's gray. And well, I'll make it a little bit darker than... I think I left it at 30. But you have to kind of know which ones are your pencils and which ones as you go over them. I mean, otherwise you could try and go and start directly with the ink layer, but I think that having a little bit of a guiding drawing underneath can be very helpful. And obviously you're going to do some interesting things with burnishing and light and shadow and line weights that you can't really do on the pencil drawing part, and construction. Of course, construction has to be erased, you know. And in this panel, I talked about it in the last video, and I think I had it planned out for 4. And I'm going to do it for... I'm going to set this one up right now for 3, but with the 4th panel being a split on the bottom panel. And I could even see making it three panels down here at the bottom. I've got they're not even enough. With the idea that Rabbit Fighter's going to jam his crowbar into a zombie and then not be able to get it back out. And then maybe the 3rd panel is a face, like a reaction. You know? Like he's horrified, suddenly he can't get his crowbar free. And, alright, let's see if we can do this. Rabbit Fighter himself, he's getting tackled. So I've toyed with the idea, I'm not 100% sure I want to do it yet, of at this point he also loses, let's say he loses his hat. And then the poncho gets torn. Right? Does that make sense? I mean, I think that's what would happen. And now I'm looking at the I call these wireframe perspectives. Once we start trying to draw along the z-axis, guaranteed to have trouble. Alright, enough with you. Alright. I get news alerts. I'm going to have to turn those news alerts off. I don't know how they got on there. Or even Let's do like a throw. This would be the hand that still has the crowbar, though. If we do this, I think we can leave the other arm either undrawn or hidden. Maybe it's down here. Like that. And then El Sombrero. Something like that. Maybe put a little bit of a bend in it or something, or it shouldn't look like a flying pizza plate or anything. I know it's got a wide brim, but it should be like a there we go. I want to have the eye is important. A lot of expression in the eyes. Maybe it's important to have them closed. I don't know. There should be a zombie behind him. Maybe a zombie in front of him. This is why the construction drawing becomes so important, is because you're going to have so many figures. I want to have like, I'm going to say at least 4, but I want to try and get 6 or more figures tackling them, right? It's got to be a bunch, almost where you don't even know where they're coming from. And even there's a, up in the foreground, there's going to be one. There's going to be another one up in the foreground. And he's not big, so I made him too big, I think. Don't be too big. How about this? I don't know, maybe I should be like looking at, is there a Bruce Lee like scene where he gets tackled by a bunch of people? Or maybe like in The Matrix, remember the big brawl? Famous scene. Let's have one of the zombies is already getting thrown to the side because you know, Rabbit Fighter, he's tough. He's throwing this guy off to the side. Almost. So that's 3 plus 2 implied figures in the foreground. That's already above and beyond where I thought I was going to go. How about like a guy hitting him low and just grabbing onto his leg? This guy's gonna grab his ear. Zombies don't fight fair. They do all kinds of crazy things. Alright, so this guy's gonna grab his ear. He's just overwhelmed by mindless zombies. Mindless, brainless zombies, just as I have been overwhelmed in my life by the brainless and the insane. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can get the leggings right. Alright. So, it may not be real obvious what this is looking like. Actually, let me look at my monitor here. Oh, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. This is a zombie tackler from the back. this is a guy going over the side. And although my zombies are not like the brain-eating cannibal zombies, they're more intent on capturing him for the seize him. I do want to show one biting him. I want to show like a bite. All right. This is like a arm kind of raised like a punch, like he's going to try and punch him. Or a grab. And, you know, like Rabbit Fighter just got through like shooting into this huge big crowd of these zombies. So some of them will be injured, and you know, there's one guy like right down here. There's one guy coming up from this side. I've already lost track of the crowbar because I have him throwing with that hand. Maybe I should reverse it. I think this is good though. If you remember what the previous page ends in, is he's running out of ammo. Click, 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 and as the zombies come in, he's just overwhelmed with them. I almost want to have the crowbar flying off into space a little bit, like up here. And when they grab him, you know, the whole like tangle of people, that's when he's gonna, maybe I'll have like a, we'll zoom in, and he's, you know, at the bottom of like a dog pile of these guys, and I'll have the hand reaching for the crowbar, which will be up in the foreground or something. That actually is a cool concept here. Yeah, that'll work out. Okay, so that's the sequence here. I don't know how big the head is or where it's going to be, so let's erase the head for right now. The hand, it's a box hand. This is my hand. This is my model. When I'm holding my hand out like this, there we go. And then oops. Except I'm going to take that and move it. I like to move it, move it. Maybe he's more like that. There's one zombie's got him in like a headlock, chokehold or something, and he's just gonna be like reaching across to get the crowbar. On the ground. Something like that. It's definitely a rough. We have to show that we're on the ground at this point, though. That's the only problem. We're you know, doing the worm's eye perspective. And not only that, extreme foreshortening because the crowbar, in fact we might even take the crowbar and make it, this is not the real crowbar obviously, make it big, you know, as we push it into the foreground. And these guys are still like jumping in to get him. Over on this side. To show that I'm gonna put a guy's foot like right here to show that like they're on the ground. I'm gonna have to go all out on this hand to make sure that it really sells, you know, what's going on. And we'll basically just kind of like fill up the panel with the zombies to give us the sort of claustrophobic feeling of the crowd, you know? Maybe that's a foot. Does that look like a foot to you? One good thing about the zombies is they're easy to draw because they're basically we're just wearing loincloths, so they're not the worst thing in the world to draw. If I run out of options, I could take the entire panel and I'm probably gonna have to do this anyway. Shrink it down a bit. Let's kind of shrinky dink it. You also have to kind of keep in mind the rule of threes, which is you take the panel itself and split it into thirds. So I probably need to even kind of cheat it to the left a little bit so we have Rabbit Fighter's face. Let's actually get rid of those lines. About a ½ inch to the left. Maybe about right there. And we're going rule of thirds, we want to put it at the junction points. So here's what rule of thirds is. You want to divide your scene into thirds, and at the junction points, this is where you want, you know, the action to go on. Your focal points to be. And I didn't do a good job like measuring these out or anything like that, but let's actually do that. We'll measure them out. I think I got it right over here. Maybe this big one, this middle one is a little bit big. And it's not really an exact science, you know. It's not like somebody's going to come along and measure you. It's an estimation. All right, we got that. I think it's layer 2. Is layer 2 the layer 2 is the outlines. Okay, layer 1. Ready, layer 1. Ready, player 1. I'm going to take it, kind of move it like that. And that means we should have also one of the zombies up here. Maybe he's further back. We can't have him the same size because he's further back. The place we want to get to is sort of the, have you ever seen I think there's a Frazetta Conan versus the skeletons or the zombies. Or maybe it's Conan versus Stygian warriors or something like that. But there's one of those scenes where he's just surrounded by enemies and he's just hewing through them. But we want to go the opposite direction. We want to show our protagonists momentarily overwhelmed. So we've placed him in danger, you know. I can't put something up there because this is the floor. This is ground level. So I can't put a head up there. think if I was to imagine it, I might do it like that. That's another leg, another zombie leg. Maybe he just wraps somebody in the shins with it or something. Stabs them in the thigh. I don't know. I haven't really worked out all of the details yet. Okay. This is Rabbit Fighter with his ear. We're gonna have a guy like grabbing his ear. Oh, there's a foot kind of just sticking out of the pile, you know. I feel like Jack Kirby would do something like that. He would have, every once in a while, there was like a thing where Captain America would be just tackled by a bunch of enemy soldiers, and he would just end up. He would kind of throw himself in. The problem is, you know, we're assuming that our protagonist is leaping into battle, and so I wanted to show the opposite. I wanted to show him getting attacked, which is different. I got that wrong. How about this? Okay, this is going to be a complicated, like, I'm thinking 3-day page at the least, just because there's so much going on. How about this one right here? This is going to impact my Trovan schedule. All right, hang on. This guy's going to be slightly bigger because he's more closer to the camera. He's on his hands and knees, but he's grabbing them. Or with zombies, they don't have to always look angry, aggressive. They could just look you know, they're trapped in this state of eternal decay, so they could make them look like they're suffering. All right, here we go. All right. All right, that's a good start. We're getting into the kind of the cartoony realms of the zombies. There's an arm. We don't even know what it's connected to yet. It could be connected to this guy, actually. Rabbit Fighter has this one scarred eye. I think when I first started drawing him, it was just a scar, but he still had the eye. But now I draw him, it's always empty, like he's blinded in that eye. Okay. Well, at least Rabbit Fighter's looking good. I don't know. Maybe that guy's already dead, right? So we can put a dead zombie over there. You know? The hat is gone. Something like that. Alright, complicated scene to be sure, and it's going to take a lot of time to render. Let's put some more zombies back here. Look, we could even just put them in the background. You know? Just keep throwing zombies in there. Boom. I want to show him jamming this crowbar. How would that look? It would be like something like that. Oh, how about this? Instead of through the eye, it's through the open mouth. Arrgh. I don't know. I think we need to go bigger. So I'm also running into the problem is you got to keep your figures varied in size, moving your camera around. So I need to go closer on this one, you know. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna erase it and try all over. How about this? You know, the analog would be, whoops, to this panel would be this one, right? The one where he bashes him over the head. It's got to be something like that, you know? So let's get it even bigger. Something like that. How do you show the lights go out on a zombie? They already have these dead eyes. Or just maybe big's not the way to go. Maybe I need to go smaller. What if we went smaller? We could even show like a something like this, and we show the something like that. I'll have to think about it, how to get that in there. Let's rebuild these lines. we could actually just focus on Rabbit Fighter's face, or I could focus on how do I do it? Maybe he turns it around. I think we run the risk of not getting it into the panel. We're not getting enough of it into the panel. We're getting the angle wrong. Or the size. I've already gotten the size wrong, I think. Here. Alright. Here's the problem, I think. Got him. He's on his stomach here. He's got this one guy behind him. Oh, I could do it like that. Maybe it's focus on that. Or, alternately, just to make it easier, until I can figure out a better solution. Maybe he clongs him upside the head first. That's something that you could do from that position. In a brutal way. angle is so fucked up. I can't figure out how to... Like the fighting angle, the drawing angle is going to be completely dependent on that. In the whirlpool. Alright, here we go. How does he go from this position to that position? I don't see how he does it. It's all gonna make logistical sense. Another thing we could do is just show him grabbing. He's coming down like this, so it would be, the thumb would be on this side. Is that right? No. Thumb would be this side. Okay, I think we can kind of fake, we could fake a shot. We use action lines. And we got to get him up and standing again pretty quickly. Something like that. Okay, this is good because we've still got him, we can still see his position is on the ground, or, you know, we can see his arm is in that position anyways. The arm is at least correct. It's just such a weird off-balance position. How about something like this? Yeah, you don't see what's happening here. It's just, all we know is he's got it, right? Okay, so I think this works actually right here. Let's do like an arm grabbing his hand, trying to grab his arm. One of the grapplers is on him. We could even show like a couple of hands like coming in trying to lock his arm down. All right. Let's make this one like a grasping hand, like he's trying to reach, the zombie's trying to reach for the thing. And it should be real obvious which hands of the zombie hands are, so we've got to draw them all, you know, gnarly with the claws and everything. And then Rabbit Fighter's arm will be the furry one. Wait, that's a terrible hand. And then it's just a matter of showing the one zombie getting hit in the eye with it. Poking out the back of his head. I wonder if I should show them like at a different angle. Yeah, I think this will work, like it's a lean back angle, you know? Or actually, let's do a let's just do a smash attack right here. We could somehow do this all without referring to Ed Piskor's Red Room. We'll be in good shape. I need to draw it really gnarly. I'm sure he'd have something for me. Alright, let's see. Do it like this. Nah. Alright. Spoosh. This is a zombie in the background. Wham. Alright, we're going to show them the hand coming down. And just killing off one of the zombies right here. I think I've made my fist, my rabbit fist, a little bit too large, but let's see. Shrink it down a little bit. There we go. Maybe this final panel. I was going to show him like horrified that he couldn't get his thing free, but I think instead we're going to show him standing up. And he's lost his hat. But he's got the crowbar at this point. It's in his left hand. Something like that. All right. People say I don't do thumbnails, but I do. I just do them very dynamically, and I do them on the page, and then I determine which one's going to be the best one. Okay, the problem with him is there's this poncho, and then there's going to be zombies all around. Okay. All right. Let me make this big for a second. This mess will be page 9. It's going to take some days and a lot of cleaning up, and a lot of it's going to take place off camera because I know I'm going to have to work through a lot of things, but I think I've got some good solid ideas, and these are complicated panels when you have more than one figure, especially more than one figure directly interacting, as in wrestling. Wrestling's really tough to draw, grappling, because you got to show the weight and the force and the dynamics of the figures, and not just the angles. And I think I've got a good start here. Some of these are still at the stick figure level, but I don't know. If I have too much trouble, I'll bring it into the critique channel on our Discord, and someone will hopefully give me some help. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed our time together today. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you next time, probably tomorrow, for the next update on page 9.